We return back to Genesis format to just see how much some of these themes are actually going to cost. You guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more on this content. Gamer's Choice, discount code MCOL40. They actually did a pretty big restock on Norroy's yesterday. We also got Frixels back up in stock. But if there's anything that you are going to want from this set, your time for pre-orders is nearing a close, but discount code MCOL40 will still save you on your purchase on anything that you might be looking at getting over here. A lot of good cheap stuff in this set, especially the Sulfur Cord, good stuff. Now, Kong's also has been, man, interesting to see, Thunder Core going very, very well out here. I see that the Ultra DDD Zero Doom Queen actually has been wiped out. Manifesting has been doing very, very well over here, but this is everything that we've been kind of seeing here. Sets are going pretty well. So yes, discount code MCOL40 will also save you on anything over here on Kong's. All right, so I've been paying quite a lot of attention to, just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Decks has been like, all these people's ideas that people have been coming up with over here. And it's been very interesting. I also see that Exosister Martha on them Starlight Rares, 7 listings of these. I see a couple people came through here for Genesis format and picked up a couple of high rarity copies for this. But I mean, this is mainly because Exosister, it looks like one of the better decks that you can choose to play. Obviously, Zeus is going to cost you a little bit for the extra deck slot, but plenty of other people are like, well, I can just dedicate my, slots to other hand traps, and we can start to see value displace. Now Magnifica here, I mean, these are pretty much down. You only had a play set of these move, nothing anywhere nearly as extreme as Martha. I did have these move out of my inventory. These did hit like an all-time low at like $18, $19, and these actually rush back up. Now, there's no sales correlation to this, but you can tell here on the 16th that a crap ton of these actually moved. And then, of course, this is where you start to get into the cheaper stuff. Sophia's $8, $9. Pax is coming in at 7s. QCR Paxes are $4. Magnifica's coming in at 4s. If there's actually anything worth considering, it's probably Magnifica. I see a couple people came through here and picked them up. They're extremely cheap. There's no reason not to be picking up $3, $4 QCRs, especially for themes you believe in. Mimighoul's still definitely doing its thing. Martha's still about $2-ish a copy. I definitely was kind of expecting some value there, but yeah, Exosister stuff doing very, very well. Thousand Eyes Restrict. This is something that's not necessarily related to Genesis, but I wanted to toss this in here. $70 copies of the Speed Duel Tournament Pack version. You got $22 versions here of Thousand Eyes Restrict. $13 copies from the Pharaoh Servant Anniversary. And then a $14 market price. 14, 14, 8, 5. You might not have paid too much attention to this, but this did in fact dodge getting a QCR. And Thousand Eyes Restrict, even like the reprint from Retro Pack 2 is like $3. Commons are like 2s as well. Yeah, you got commons floating around at 2s here, people. That's an interesting indicator of how much value this card still has. Gold Sarcophagus. So I've been reading from a lot of people that they just want to play Ghoti in the new format. Okay, I mean, understandably so. I mean, Gold Sark's what, like a 10 cost card. You can maximize on this, and you can basically do full Ghoti combo. I mean, there's nothing really wrong about that. You're looking at solidly $7 a copy, which is not bad, people. Not at all. And as you can see, over the last 2 days, yeah, people were coming through picking up copies of this. It's not been like rapid fire, pickups, but it's enough that we're seeing, the hands moving back and forth in the market, trying to, associate and pick up for what theme they want. Now, Ghoti of the Deep Beyond. $4 copies for the Ultra is all right, I guess. None of these have actually sold, but I mean, that's because there's, other higher rarities. Darkwing Blast version, Serpent of the Ghoti, these are 2 to 3s. Ghoti of the Deep Beyond, these 24 cents, but you can just go over here and buy a QCR of this for, what, like nothing? You've had one person come through here and pick us up. So I'm guessing that for all of this Ghoti talk that people have been having, they're not rushing over here and picking up this stuff because, one, these cards are already massively cheap. All right, I think that's one of the important things here. When you can get deck cores for like 20, 30, 40 cents, especially in the exploration phase of these formats, it's why people are latching on to this new format, because it's cheap. We can explore, you can play literally any of these ideas and it can work out for you. Same thing over here with Mutant. I cannot tell you the last time I've checked out Mutant cards. We do see every once in a while that there will be like a niche one of these that'll come up, because of, its use with psychics. It does happen, but Ultimate Mutant Friend, what were the last sales we actually had on this guy? Because I can't imagine. 921 actually. Somebody bought 3 of them. All right, never mind. This thing actually gets pretty regular sales. It's actually interesting for how cheap that, once again, this card is. MO5 coming in at 40 cents, another 40 center. I can see the Evolution Labs coming in at like 30 cents. Mutant Beast. And, we start the trek down here to nothing. Like I said, this format, it's got the illusion of giving you the opportunity to play old fun themes. We've also got, this one is very, very interesting to me. Have you guys looked at the decline of Invocation Ultimate Rares? Now, first of all, you can see where this card fell off an immediate cliff in the last couple weeks, because you now have low listings at $22, $24 on up to $30. This is one of those cards that, you just go, wow, this is tanked down so much. Also, evidently, Invoked cards cost nothing in this format, which is crazy. But the trade-off here is why do I want to spend $20 when I can get, a QCR for $7? That's interesting. I do see, you see the fall off here. Secret Rares coming in at 2 to 3s. That alt Secret Rare is by far probably one of my favorites. But you've got plenty of whatever versions of these that you want to have to play the new format. Speaking of, Macabas are $6 a piece. That is kind of crazy. See, not a lot of these have actually turned over hands either for the new format, which I guess is understandably so. Kaligas, on the other hand, these are about $8 a piece. Yeah, Kaliga's been tripping up, man. I mean, it's to be seen. I mean, it's an incredibly broken card. Makaba attack mode coming in at 3s. Ragens 2s. We're not really doing too bad with these. As you can see, the descent down here into the cheaper versions, which is good. I mean, the Invoke stuff does have, the alternatives. Kaliga being a 30-cent Ultra, you can spend the $8 and get your higher rarity version. It just depends on, what you want to do. Red Eyes, Black Full Metal Dragon. So there's been some discussion about the Metalmorph stuff in this set. It's been doing pretty well, I guess, but also, people, these are $1.45 Starlight Rares. If you're wanting to play these, this theme, and I mean, I don't blame people for coming through here picking these up. If you're a fan of, dragons in general, getting the ability to get, big monsters set up, this is something to kind of consider. Actually playing an actual Red Eyes deck is not a bad idea. And then Mimighoul, oh my gosh, you know how cheap this deck is? $26 for QCRs. 20s, 13s. We also got $16 of these. Charms coming in at 8s. We've also got Dungeons at $1.50s. Charms from the sneak peek, $1.50s. These are all incredibly cheap. The Mimighoul Dungeon Master is a cheap deck that you can play and do well with. But What do you guys think about today's market? Please leave a comment down below and what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.